Hi guys, it's Selena here. We're going to be doing a little bit of a tutorial today on making some custom furniture using in-game items with the tool mod. I found this picture on Pinterest here, and I thought that it would be pretty easy to make with some of the in-game items. So I played around with the idea over here, and this is the bed that we're going to be making. I went ahead and tried it before I started doing this tutorial and pulled all the items so that it wouldn't be a 45-minute video, but we'll see how long it takes for me to get through this. So we're going to start with this bed. This is a base game bed, and I'm going to start by doing the headboard. So I'm going to grab this gate here that comes from the Vampires pack, and I tried sizing it down just with the bracket keys, but it's a little bit too big for what I want it to do. I want it to fit right along the edge of the headboard. So I'm going to size it back up to the original size and use tool. So I'm going to be using scale. I will select this item, and you see that it uses numbers. It's going to ask you for a number. Every item starts at 1, so its original scale is size 1. Your bracket keys will size items down by a 1/4 point every time. So for example, let me get out of this. So it's currently at 1. If I size it down with my bracket key once, that will be 0.75, twice will be 0.5, and 3 times will be 0.25. 0.5 was close, but it's not quite the size that I need. So I'm going to shrink it down to 0.4 and try that. No, that's too small. Okay, so 0.45 should do it then. I can't remember the scales that I used for things. So yeah, that looks to be about the right size. So I'm gonna pull it into here. I just want it to fit so that the gold peeks through, but these, the actual gate doors do not. So I'm gonna slide it back just a little bit, see if that works. Almost, but I want a little bit more of the sculpture to come through on it. If I can't get it, then I'll pull it with tool mod. Okay, yeah, I can't get it. So I'm gonna, well, that works. Okay, never mind. That's fine. I'll leave it like that for now. It's kind of glitching through a little bit if it bothers me enough. Okay, it is glitching through a little bit, so I'm going to pull it. So open up tool, and pulling items is one of my favorite things to do with tool. It lets you get very precise with your placement. So I'm going to select the item that I want to pull, and then holding the Alt key, I'm going to click just behind it, and you see it barely moved it, but now it's gotten rid of that glitching where it was peeking through. See, now it's not peeking through anymore, and you can really get precise with your movements or with your placements whenever you pull things. If I were to click way out here with the Alt key, you see it'll make it move farther, whereas if I'm closer it'll move smaller. You kind of just have to play around with it, but generally the farther away you are, the more it'll move. But that's a very useful thing that I use tool for. So now going on to the posts, I used these that are from the Cottage Living pack, and I sized them down twice. And I just placed these on the posts here on all 4 corners of the bed. And then I want to use a black one as well, because in my reference photo, you see these poles are black, but they have like the gold details peeking through. The way that I figured to do that was just to duplicate these, make them black, and make them slightly smaller so that the high points on the gold peeks through. It's not perfect, but I'll show you how to do that. So you open up tool again, using Shift and T if you're not familiar with that. And then I'm going to select all 4 of these posts. And to select items, you also hold down Alt or Command, and you'll just click on all of the ones that you want to select. To duplicate, because I don't want to have to go through and pull these, size them down, and place them again. I want them to already be where they're at. I'm going to hold down Shift and Alt and just click on one of these. So now you can see I have all 4 of them duplicated. See, and they're exactly how they were. I'm going to pull them over here just so that I can easily change the color of them with my swatch tool. And I'm going to make them black. Now I'm going to open tool again, press undo to place them back where they were, and I'm going to size them down just a little bit. So these were sized down twice with the bracket key, so that puts them at 0.5. I'm going to put these to 0.49, and Yeah, so now you can't really see them. Because I want to offset them a little bit just so that the black shows through here mainly. So again, I'm going to use the pulling method, and I'm just going to hold Alt and click over to this side just a little bit. And that put them a little farther than I would like them to be. So I might have to do them individually one by one. So let me just click on this one to select it. I'm going to pull it back just a little bit, just so that some of that gold peeks through. And like I said, it's not perfect, but to me it gives the effect that maybe these were painted black and the black paint is chipping off. Now from this side, they're just completely gold, and it doesn't really bother me because I'm going to take pictures from this angle, so it doesn't matter to me. But I mean, if you really want to get precise with it, I'm sure you could probably finesse it a little bit. But I'm just going to do it the best that I can for the moment. Now let me finish up this headboard using this curtain here, and this is also from Vampires. It's a little bit too small at scale 1, so I'm gonna size it up just a little bit, again with tool, obviously. And I'm gonna scale this to 1.2. That should give me the size that I need. Yep. I'm gonna pull it a little bit further, just so that it lines right up with an edge of the bed like that. And then it's a little too high. So now I'm gonna elevate, or actually I'm gonna lower it using elevate. To lower objects, you would use a negative number. I'm gonna lower it maybe, I think I did 0.4. Yeah, I think that's good enough. And you see it clips through the headboard a little bit, so I'm gonna pull this item too, just to move it back some. There we go. That's better. You might be able to hear my cat. He's meowing to get out of the room because he wants to go out and play in the living room. But anyway, so I also used this mirror that I believe is base game, and I flipped it around, raised it up, and just placed it right in between the headboard and the curtains, like that, just to give a little bit of extra gold detail to the headboard. I did the same kind of to the footboard with a different mirror. I want to say this one's base game as well, and just put it there right at the end of the bed. Actually, let me pull it forward a little bit just so it's not peeking through the back like that. There we go. Okay, now I took these and I just again scaled them down with my keys, raised it up once. Actually, I'm gonna keep it down. I like it better down. So I'm gonna just hold my Alt key and free place that where I want it to be. I may need to kind of finesse it a little bit using the pull technique with tool, but for right now it's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull it because the wings are clipping. So again, I'm gonna select those items holding down Alt or Command, and then just click on the ground in front until they are where I want them to be, which is there. I think it's off center just a little bit, so I'm gonna also pull them to the right just a little, and that should be fine. I also used this thing. I just sized that down twice, kind of placed it at the same place that I had the mirror there, and then I lowered it down because I wanted it to cover this. My reference photo has a dip in the end of the board like this, and so I kind of wanted to recreate that the best that I could, but it clips through the ground a little bit. So I did negative 0.5. That's not enough, so let me go down 0.1. A little bit too low, so back up 0.05. That should be fine. Need to bring it forward just a little bit. So again, pull so that it covers up this gold here, holding the Alt key and clicking. There we go. So now it clips into that. So now I gotta pull this forward. There we go. Building custom furniture and stuff in The Sims with this it's like a lot of trial and error and just kind of seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, really finessing things to get it where you want it to be. Okay, now for this frame up here, I forgot to grab that item, but I used this curtain here from the Get Famous pack, and I just raised this up with my 9 key and placed it to cover this, because I'm going to place these things in right behind them because I thought it gave a really cool look with that tassel. I'm only going to do that side for now. I'll do them on the inside as well, but I want to place these first just to make sure that I get them right. I flipped them around because I found that I could place them a little bit lower. I didn't want the star to show, but if I flip them around, I have more leeway. So I'm going to place it like that. I might size this one down a little bit because it might be okay. It goes out a little bit further, but I think it'll be fine. Let me grab another one and raise that up as well and make sure I get them on the same level. There we go. And I like to do it just so that the star disappears right behind the curtain, so there's not really a huge gap there. Now the problem is that there is a gap here. So I'm going to select these. Open up tool, hold down my Alt key, select all 3 of them, and I'm going to duplicate again by holding Shift and Alt and clicking on one of those. And then I'll just elevate it by 0.1 just to close that gap there. Now I'm going to grab these curtains again and just place them on the inside. I thought it looked nicer being able to cover up that star in there, but I guess you could leave it if you really wanted to. I just would rather it not show, so. The last part is kind of optional. You could leave this open if you wanted to, like I guess if you wanted to watch your Sims sleep or whatever, have better view of them while they're in the bed. I don't know, but I would rather have it closed. I think it just looks more finished. So I'm gonna add these shelves by sizing them up once and then raising them to fit in here. I was gonna use some gallery art to put here so that it would at least be pretty, but for some reason, every time I try to use gallery art lately, it marks it as custom content, and I don't like that, so I stopped using it. And I kind of like how this turned out. It's cute. I kind of wish I had something to cover up the bottom of these stars, but I'm not going to spend that much time on it. I had played around with a couple of other ideas, like there's a few wall decor pieces. I'd have to go find them. I'm not going to sit here and scroll through them if I'm not going to use them, but there were a couple of pieces that I thought would be cute, like stuck up in there and stuff. But you can kind of just play around with it, find things that you like, try layering things, try resizing things, elevating things, flipping things around, all that good stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna move this into a room. I'll show you how you can move multiple items. Let me do this, and I'm just gonna get rid of the walls. Okay, so now I want to move this bed into here. Instead of either like moving into each individual item, I could have just built it in the room, honestly, or just like built a room under this. But for whatever reason, if you can't do that, you can use tool to move a group of items instead of, individually. You can either use the method that we used earlier by holding Alt and selecting all of the items. You can do it that way. But sometimes some of these builds, you'll have like 50 items and you don't have to click on all of them. So you can hold down Shift and drop these little nodes in a box around the items that you want to select, end on the same place that you started with to make the box highlight. And then you'll go to Options and Toggle Group. And now everything within that box is selected and I can move it into this room. So now I don't have to move everything individually. You would use that same method if you wanted to like rotate everything or whatever. So yeah, I can rotate everything. Let me change the axis. And oh, hold on, I have to toggle first. Toggle group. Now I can rotate everything. I have this checked because if you don't check it, you see it does each individual item, rotating it. So if I were to rotate like this, now it's all out of whack, you see. So undo. You want to make sure that you have this selected so that it will rotate everything as a group. So you don't mess it up. But yeah, that's it for this tutorial, I guess. Now we're gonna just test it, see if it works. So now we're in live mode, and we're just gonna see if this bed works. I don't see why it wouldn't, but fingers crossed, I guess. We'll see. And it does. All right, so yeah, this bed is functional. Again, it's not perfect, like I said, you know, some of this is kind of off, but I think for what we have, it came out pretty good. But yeah, if there's anything else that you guys would like to know how to do or see the process of or whatever, just let me know down in the comments and I will see if I can make it happen. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys have a good day or night or evening or whatever it may be. And make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Check out my Instagram maybe if you're interested. But yeah, it's been fun. See you guys later. Bye.